Francesco Bagnaia was once the unstoppable force of MotoGP, a two-time world champion who conquered track after track with ruthless consistency. But 2025 has turned into a nightmare that refuses to end. What was meant to be a glorious season for Ducati, the much-hyped dream team of Bagnaia and Marc Marquez, has crumbled into something bitter and one-sided. Marquez, hungrier than ever, is soaring at the top of every race, while Bagnaia looked like a ghost of himself, left scrambling. In his rival's wake, the signs of his collapse weren't completely hidden. Even in preseason tests, there were cracks in the foundation. Many dismissed them as fleeting doubts, convinced that Bagnaia would surge back into contention. But the months rolled on, and the deadlines to reclaim his throne kept slipping by. Like water through his fingers, every race that was supposed to mark his comeback, Qatar, Spain, even Mugello, his beloved home, became a stark reminder of his fading dominance. Fourth place at Mugello felt like more than just a disappointment. It was a public reckoning, on home soil, in front of legions of passionate Italian fans and the watchful eyes of Valentino Rossi himself. Bagnaia was forced to accept that he could no longer fight like he used to make matters even more bitter. Marquez led the charge at the front, celebrating not only his victory, but sharing the podium with his brother Alex, who was riding a year-old Ducati. It was a heartbreaking spectacle for Bagnaia, who found himself not only behind his rival, but also trapped in his long shadow. And there was Rossi, Bagnaia's legendary mentor, sitting trackside as the struggles unfolded. The doctor had come to Mugello, hoping to see a spark of greatness in his protege. But what he witnessed was a pale version of the champion he had nurtured. That sting must have been painful for both men. Rossi had also appeared in Qatar and Spain, hoping each time that his star student would rise to the occasion. Every time, he left disappointed. With Assen now looming on the horizon, Bagnaia's unease is palpable. The MotoGP was once sacred ground for Rossi himself, a fast and flowing circuit where he had triumphed 8 times in MotoGP and took his final victory back in 2017. That history only raises the stakes higher for Bagnaia, who must face a track that demands absolute trust in the front end, unwavering rhythm, and total self-belief, all of which seem to have deserted him. Even Bagnaia himself doesn't hide his doubts. Assen is a track where front-end feel and bike stability mean everything, he admitted before heading to the Netherlands. If I feel like I did at Mugello, I'm going to be in serious trouble. It was a rare moment of honesty from a champion who rarely concedes defeat. The pressure is intensifying with each passing round. Bagnaia can sense the eyes of the paddock boring into him as Marquez continues to write a story of dominance, and Bagnaia is left trying to rewrite his own. The fight is no longer just about reclaiming podiums, it's about salvaging his season, his confidence, and his reputation as one of the sport's elite. The Dutch Grand Prix at the legendary Assen circuit, scheduled for June 27th to 29, 2025, will offer Bagnaia his next opportunity to fight back. But whether he can truly rise to the occasion or sink deeper into his slump will determine far more than just the points on the leaderboard. This weekend could define the very future of his career. At his place in MotoGP history, the MotoGP paddock now roars its way into the legendary TT Circuit Assen for round 10 of the season at the Motul Grand Prix of the Netherlands, the second part of a thrilling doubleheader that kicked off at Mugello. The championship fight is heating up like never before, and every garage is alive with tension and expectation. After an electrifying weekend in Italy that left riders and fans breathless, the spectacle now shifts to the Netherlands, where every corner and straight could rewrite the story of this unpredictable season. Assen's reputation as the Cathedral of Speed, with its fast and flowing layout, promises to separate the pretenders from the genuine title contenders. In what could be a turning point for the entire championship, Marc Marquez arrives at Assen brimming with confidence after a blistering run of form that has seen him take the fight straight to Francesco Bagnaia at every race. The 6-time Premier Class champion, riding for the mighty Ducati Lenovo team, looks ready to extend his lead at one of Bagnaia's most cherished circuits. Every inch of Assen could become a battleground as Marquez seeks to crush his rivals. Hopes in front of a crowd that appreciates speed, precision, and bravery. Bagnaia, however, will not back down. after bitterly losing ground at Mugello. The reigning champion is aching for redemption at a venue where he has often felt at home, hoping that Assen will be his launch pad back into serious title contention. Meanwhile, the undercurrent of this thrilling championship fight is shaped by a fierce Marc Marquez. The BK8 Gresini Racing star has quietly but consistently put himself into the conversation, knocking on the door of victories that could upend expectations. Riding a machine that is not factory spec but proves its worth under his talented hands, Alex will come to Assen knowing that every race weekend is an opportunity to upset the establishment. That hunger fuels him, and with the unpredictable weather and unique challenges of Assen's fast bends and tricky chicanes, this weekend may yet offer him the perfect chance to pounce. And it's not just the Marquez brothers or Bagnaia who will light up the Dutch TT, other contenders lurking just outside. The spotlight will be eager to remind everyone that Moto is never just a two-horse race. From the gritty determination of Jorge Martin to the relentless pace of Brad Binder, the grid is stacked with riders who could tear up the script if the frontrunners stumble. The slightest mistake at Assen can flip the standings in a heartbeat, and with the stakes so high at this critical point of the season, the fight up and down the order will be ferocious. The stage is set for an unforgettable weekend of racing at one of motorcycle racing. As most iconic venues, the Dutch GP is more than just another stop on the calendar. It's a crucible that has shaped champions for decades. This weekend will reveal who has the nerve, the skill, and the willpower to rise under pressure. Every practice session, every qualifying lap, and every heartbeat on race day will matter as the moto world watches to see who emerges triumphant at the Moto Grand Prix of the Netherlands. Get ready, Assen will not disappoint.